Hello, everybody. Welcome to Crypto CJ's Trade of the Day, the Monday night Zoom edition. And let's get to it. We had some interesting action on Bitcoin over the weekend. And let's go to my Bitcoin chart. And you guys should see my daily Bitcoin chart. Can you see it?
Yes.
All right, thank you. And Bitcoin is still hugging the bottom of this channel. It did return to the low from January 22nd. And it looks like, 30 to 31,000 is support at this time. It has touched multiple times in this area, but it doesn't seem to be able to break up above it. There's that Grayscale news. They dumped a bunch of Bitcoin on the open market. I was listening to Crypto Banter this morning with Ran, and his opinion is that it's going to take some time for the market to absorb, all that available Bitcoin. And some of it might, some of the people might wait till Bitcoin hits around 36,000, which is where a lot of them bought in, then drop it then and try to at least break even. So anyway, the point is we could be stuck in this area for quite a while. And then, there's other people who say that when you have these multiple touches down and support, that the market can only do that so many times and it's going to drop. So again, watching Crypto Banter on Friday, Rand had a couple people on. One is suggesting the Bitcoin's going to drop all the way down to 10,000, another one to 20. So that would be a bummer for those of us who are holding. I've got a few. I'm mostly a day trader, but I do have some longer term holds. And on the plus side, I could buy into those at a much lower price should that kind of action happen. But I'm hoping that we hold 30,000, but we just dropped down below 30. We've been below 30 or 31 most of the day. It's been hanging around between about 30,300 and 30,900. So, and then on my 4-hour chart, I redrew I had a descending triangle here that Bitcoin broke down through. So I've now redrawn these lines into a descending channel. So again, we're hoping for a bounce down here and then working our way back up. So, and then on Ethereum, let's look at the day chart. It's still within the descending triangle I drew last week, but heading towards the bottom of it. Just below the sweet spot. This is the Fibonacci retracement. I'm not going to go into that now, but it's roughly halfway between the high and the low right now. This high we had back in May, and then the low probably from January. Yeah, actually November. So Ethereum is holding up a little bit better than Bitcoin, I think. But again, it's challenging this low of the descending triangle. Let's take a closer look on the 4-hour. Yeah. So I like to see a bounce off the bottom of the Bollinger Band here on the 4-hour chart and then work its way up. Let's see, where's the RSI and the MACD on this? Had a low RSI reading a few days ago. Looks like it's heading towards it again. MACD is fallen below the histogram. So none of these are really encouraging for the long-term prospect, or the short-term prospect. But if we get it's sort of in a dip sequence here, as we know, even on the longer time frames, you can't have a 1, 2, 3 dip and then a pump. So we'll see if that's in store for Ethereum. Okay, any questions on Ethereum or Bitcoin before I move over to Altcoin Alert? See how we trade this mess? All right, quick look at the chat. Okay. Pat's telling me, I remember him now, the easy trade guy. So welcome, Pat. And let's go to Altcoin Alert. Refresh. And all right, so the top coin is PunDX, very bullish, 89.5. Sandbox, I've traded a couple times. DAG, I've traded a couple times. It's not on my main exchange, but I found it on a couple others. So let's look at PunDX. I had that. I don't now. I had Dash up anyway. Let's look at this, because this is, since I have Dash up already.
The outlier.
Yeah.
Dash took a nice jump today.
It's a weird little coin, I think. Because I remember it pumped for, well, everything pumped back in April and May, but this one really went crazy, up to nearly $500. Then had a huge drop. 77%, that's about what most of them dropped. Then it has this big candle here out of nowhere in the wee hours of the morning. So let's see if there's any news on Dash. Privacy coins. There is some concern about more government interference in our crypto. So that might explain why Dash pumped up. XMR and Zcoin are privacy coins as well. And they didn't really do much. I said Zcoin, I meant Zcash. Yeah, so I guess Dash is the outlier. Don't really have an explanation for that. And that one pumped and the others didn't, but. Okay, now do we trade Dash now? I don't know what to think about this. It's in a squeeze. Yeah, it's about 5% between the bands, which isn't bad, but I can barely see that. So sitting on the SMA line on the 5-minute chart, get one more green candle, might be tempted to try to catch this back to this this area for 2%, but that's where most of the trades are going to be this 2 to 3% area, which isn't very exciting, but holding out for 5 or 10%, I think those days are behind us for a while. All right, and then I wanted to look at PunDX. So this was listed on Binance, in April, and it's just really basically just gone down since then. Had a pump in the wee hours, actually not the wee hours, but a couple days ago over the weekend, and then pretty big drop from there. Wow. So this would be interesting, but it's going into a 1, 2, 3 dip sequence. Got 1, 2, if you could catch it down here where the support, the short-term support is, that might be a decent entry point. So yeah, this one might be, might want to keep an eye on, maybe drop your alert down here. So that might be one you might want to check out. Alrighty, DX, and we can look at DAG too. Okay, it's on KuCoin. This one has been showing up in Altcoin Alert with some frequency. We had a big pump out of nowhere on the 10th. It's been dropping ever since. Yeah, this candle skewing the chart. But trending up to last few hours. 5-minute chart. I don't know. Already at the top of the Bollinger Band on the 5-minute. It's not where I would like to catch this. I want to get it down here, but from here back to this resistance is around 6%. And that's a good trade. But again, trading up here can be a little risky. But I do like this, candle action here. MACD's crossed, RSI is moving up. It has dipped with these last few candles. So, tread cautiously here, but this one has potential. Okay. And we can look at Sandbox too. I don't think that's. Okay, big pump here in March, some smaller pumps here in May and a few days ago. Okay, dropping from the 1-hour highs. Not seeing a real good entry point here. This is really indecisive. I'd rather see something like this. Or even, a few of these candles, then try to catch something like this, even for 1.5 points. But we're sitting on the SMA line. We do have 3 candles going up. That's not bad. If you bought now and went to this resistance, 1.4%. That's the kind of things we're looking at now as day traders. So, the 1s and 2s and 3s. Okay, so any questions on those 3 tokens, PundiX, Constellation, Sandbox, or Dash? Or any other token? Okay, let's look at we've been looking at this Elder Impulse sort. So I think only one qualified the last time I looked. We're looking for bullish under the Elder Impulse on the daily and the long-term sentiment. So a few have popped up since I looked at this last. I haven't heard of any of these 3 here. ETN, Ampleforth I've heard of, and Cardia Chain I've not. Let's check out Ampleforth. Okay, it's trading on FTX and KuCoin. I have an FTX account. Let's look at it there. Wow, no volume. All right, let's try KuCoin. Yeah, not much volume here either. When you see these horizontal lines, that usually means no trades were made in this time frame. So I'll get a little better outlook here on the day chart. Highs in February and April, lower high in May. On the 1 hour, it's mostly dropping from this high about a week ago. And the 5-minute, I just don't like this lack of volume. Plus, we're at the top of the Bollinger Band now. Don't see a retrace. It looks good to me. Not liking this one. So I'm going to punt on Ampleforth. I did look at this KAI. This had more volume than I expected. Dogecoin, day chart, highs in April and May. Possible retracements here to 5.8 cents, 5.7 cents earlier today. So dipping most of the day, nice pump here in the afternoon, dipping again, going into a squeeze. Yeah, it's not in a dip sequence, and not really strong enough candle action to make me want to take a chance on the squeeze. So not really seeing a good entry point here. You could set an alert down here in the support area and try to catch it down there. 4.8 cents could be a good entry point. Otherwise, probably not interested in this one. So let's do a quick trading activities. Pardon?
How do you have that sorted? Because I was looking at mine and I have it totally different.
I sorted by elder impulse.
All right. Thanks.
So yeah, if you click that a couple times till you see a bullish value, then you'll get, top to bottom. Then I'm gonna do the same thing on trading activity. Yeah, I've got fire, bullish, but I'm usually looking for neutral or better in the AA score, 5% or more on this this value. We've already looked at Dash, so this really seems to be one of the few I'd be interested in. Maybe this XEM.
I'm looking at my Altcoin Alert right now at the same time.
Okay.
And I sorted the same way you just did and had different results.
Hey, Chris,
All right. What does
that
this?
happened to me one time, and I had my filters turned on, the
Yeah.
star filter, and CJ didn't have his, and so we were getting different results because of that.
Yeah, and also you may have to refresh, reload or whatever, depending on your browser. So make sure your filter's checked off and you refresh, and then sort by trading activity so that you have fire on top, and it should look the same.
Hi-Fi, Nexus, Chromia. Is that what you have?
Yeah, that's what he's got.
Yeah. Hi-Fi, Nexus, Chromia.
Thanks. Sorry about that.
That's okay. Actually, I like Chromia. Let's look at that one. Day chart. Its big move was in March. It has been trending up. It was really active a few days ago. I was trading it. 1 hour. A few days ago it was 34 cents. Now it's 22. So this might be due to come back. All right, very squeezy. Distance between the bands is 3%. It's pretty low. I don't like buying these kind of trades. Is on the 5-minute day trading approach. I'd want to see some, a dip like this. 1, 2, 3. It's a good looking 1, 2, 3 dip. 2% up to this resistance. That's really probably all you can get. And we keep setting lower lows. So that's a concern as well. So you might want to set an alert towards the bottom of the Bollinger Bands, or wait for a bubble and to see if it trends upwards. But I don't really see a good entry here at all at the moment. So as you guys know, when it comes to Altcoin Alert, most of what I'm trying to help everybody out with is to find the good entry points. It's not enough just to look at an AA score, see that it's high, or do a search or a sort and get fire or bullish or whatever and just jump in. That did work during the bull market. It doesn't work now. So I hope it's not too tedious that I keep going through these entry points. So
Yeah, that's what we're looking for.
okay.
I don't know about the rest of the guys. I am not day trading because I don't understand. I've been here like week after week and I'm getting what you're doing, but I don't know if it's the market or me, but I'm just looking at it and thinking I'm not getting in this because I don't know what I'm doing with it. And it doesn't look good to me.
Yeah. Just, these Mondays and Fridays, it's really only 1 out of 4 weeks where we got, okay, I would take this trade. This is something I want to do right now. So it just, the timing just doesn't work that way. But hopefully the guidance I give to you is something you can look at in the future, and then when the conditions are right, you can get in and make a quick, 1, 2, 3, 5% profit. So, and do that a few times a day, you can move your balance pretty quickly. So that's what we're trying to do here.
That's why we keep coming back.
All right.
Just to see what you're doing in this kind of a market. It's interesting, and
Yes.
I don't feel compelled to throw money at it if I don't, if I don't see it.
Yeah, I understand. You gotta see the situation that you want, and we're gonna move over to iCoinPro in a moment. And Justin Clark talks about, he wants a big bubble with a perfect 1, 2, 3 dip, or he's not trading it. So he calls it being snobby. He puts on a snob hat and waits for the perfect trade.
Yeah.
And if you have his success and his eye and his balance, then you can do that. So
yeah.
But anyway, we should all try to do that anyway. But
we appreciate you coming out and doing this, even when the market is not bullish, because I think I'm learning a lot of stuff, and I appreciate it. So thanks.
Well,
yeah, we appreciate it.
Wasn't fishing for a compliment, but thank you.
I take it back.
Appreciate your appreciation. All right. So any other questions on Altcoin Alert before I move over to iCoinPro? Okay.
Nope.
All righty then. iCoinPro. That's not where I want to go. Here's where I want to go. All right. So the two searches that I use most on iCoinPro, iCoinPro, are the RSI SPY, which I have open right now, and the Buddy Coin Crawler. So on the RSI SPY, I'm going to refresh this. I'm currently sorting by the 1 hour RSI, and I'm looking for values 30 and below. If you get values 30 and below on both the 1 hour and the 4 hour, that's something to seriously consider. And then for example, on Matic, on the USDT pair, it's below 30 on the RSI on the 1 4 hour and the 1 day. So it's really taken a beating. So yeah, Matic has been has misbehaved when I traded it. So I'm not real happy with that. It's not loading. All right, there we go. That is one nice convenience about iCoinPro, is that drop-down link to TradingView. So day chart, and it's just falling kind of like a rock. Yeah, 74% and not coming back, still dropping. And fell out of the sweet spot here and heading for the last line of defense. 5-minute chart. lower lows all over the place. A lot of RSI touches down here below 30 on the 5-minute chart. But, you know, there are some recoveries. I've talked about before putting alerts on the RSI. I like to do them on the 15-minute or half-hour charts. That's often more indicative of a 1, 2, 3 dip. Sometimes if you put them on the 5-minute chart, you'll just get a single dip and then you have to wait. I don't want to wait. So here's a good example of a dip sequence. Actually, yeah, this is too many dips. So when they're bunched together like this and really small, I often just count these as one, even though there's multiple breaks of the Bollinger Bands. So I count this as like 1 dip, 2 dips, and 3 dips, maybe 4 right around here. Then I'd probably look for some candle action like this. And then I'd be conservative with this and just be looking for 1% or so. A little bit of resistance here. That takes me out, you know, a couple hours later with 1.3%. Again, that's not bad in this market. So I think trading this one's kind of risky. It has been coming up though. See, is Bitcoin coming back up? Yeah, Bitcoin's been trying to punch through and hold 31,000, hasn't been able to do it. So we'll see how that plays out tonight. But regarding Matic, 1 dip, 2 dips. Yeah, if there's a 3rd dip, I might jump in and try to get, you know, a quick 1%. All right, any questions on Matic?
No.
Okay.
Disappointed in Matic.
Binance Coin is in the low RSI areas on the 1-4 hour chart. There's been a lot of negative news about Binance.
I
It
wonder
concerns
why.
me because I trade on it, but
I'm assuming you don't leave much money on there, that you make your trades and then move away.
more
to
than I
unlock.
should, but I got to make a move. My plan was to get, you know, really reasonably consistent at leverage trading, and then move all or most of my funds off of Binance. I probably leave some on because it's probably
In case you want to trade.
right, because you know, it is the best, has the most high volume coins with the best volume. So I'm starting to wonder if this company's kind of Teflonish, because look, this hasn't dropped much today. I mean, there was this drop, but that was mostly precipitated by Bitcoin, and then, you know, there's negative news out about this, and you know, there was another, you know, Australia banned their Bitcoin or Binance's leverage trading. The regulators really dislike their some kind of synthetic stock thing they're doing, which doesn't interest me. But
You're not leveraging on Binance.
yeah, I am, but not with you know, like some of those weird things they're offering with NFTs and something with stocks and.
Are you leveraging anyplace else?
No, and my plan is to move to Femex, but my trading trainer is still on Binance, and he thinks all this is nonsense, but he's kind of a cowboy, right. So
I hope he's right.
Yeah, me too, because that would sting a little if they went under or something. Or I mean, I've had friends kicked off Binance, and they're usually just say, you know, take your assets off in 14 days, and that's what happens. But if there's some other, you know, shutdown, you know, that would be bad. But anyway, the overall point is, do as I say, not as I do. Don't keep too much money on Binance at the moment. So, all right. So BNB is in a really nice dip sequence now. Well, that's the 1 hour. So yeah, it's sort of in a dip sequence, but it's a really squeezy one. Yeah, it's not even 2% between the top and the bottom of the Bollinger Bands. But if this bows out and resembles something like this, then I'd be interested in trading it. But yeah, I'm not sure what to do with that. So, all right, let's take a look at the Buddy coin crawler. And I sort by this column here, the average low to SMA. So that's the 24-hour low. And then the percentage from that figure to the SMA line, the pink line that's in the middle of the Bollinger Band. So NFT, I've traded this before, perp, heard of it, not traded it. Then we get some of these gaming tokens, Alien Worlds, Axis. Axis I've traded a lot. I'm usually looking for a value of 5% or more in here. So yeah, actually Access is on my list today earlier from both this value and this happens frequently. You know, it was up here in the top 5 AA scores around 80.2, I believe. Yeah, earlier this morning. So that's been one of the coins I've been following today. So let's check it out. All right, day chart. Big pump here recently, just a few days ago, and pretty big drop. Yeah, 40%. Nice pump in the wee hours of the morning, but dropping since then. And here we are, nice bubble. Over 6% between the top and the bottom of the Bollinger Band. There's the SMA line. So that's why I like the Buddy coin crawler. It shows me coins that have potential and room to move. So we've got our bubble, got sort of one dip. It's not real clean. Plus it's coming from the top of the Bollinger Band down to the bottom. These can be kind of twitchy. On this one, I'm looking at this support here. I'd be interested in looking, reevaluating this if it drops down to, say $16.20. So from where it is now, I'm looking for it to drop 2 or 3% before I get in. So that would be my goal with this one. Or if it doesn't dip, pumps up here above the SMA line, maybe catch it right above and get back to this this resistance here around 2%. So I prefer the dip, but the pump is okay too. All right, any questions on Axis? All right. I'm looking for volumes 10 million or higher, 24-hour USD volume. Like this one here, standard token protocol, 534,000. I wouldn't even look at that. I did look at Alien Worlds once. Let's check it out. With a name like Alien Worlds, it's worthy of investigation. So, all right. Ridiculous price to start on Binance and then straight crash. Yeah, 70%, pretty much like the rest. 1 hour. Big pump on the 15th. I think a lot of gaming tokens had a pump on that day, but dropped 50% since. Yeah, this one's a little squeezier than, yeah, only 5% between. It's not bad, but you might be able to catch this run up to this resistance here, 1.64%. If I'm buying above the SMA line, I'm usually looking for a much bigger move than that, because you know, buying above the SMA line, in my opinion, is a little riskier than buying a dip sequence. So then I feel more comfortable ladder buying on a dip sequence than I do up here. So yeah, I'm not liking
How
this.
low can it go?
Right. That's an issue too. So there's some support here around 1.5 cents. That's probably where I'd be looking to get in. All right. Any questions on iCoinPro? The RSI SPY, the Buddy Coin Crawler. I don't use these trackers, these MACD trackers, because they're Bitcoin pairs, which I don't trade very often. Fear and Greed Index. Don't think we need to know this. I think we all know it. Oversold Index. It's very high. A lot of when have we seen values this high?
Can I tell you an aside that won't
Okay.
make you any money at all, but it's kind of interesting? I just read a book called The Fear Index, which is a novel, which is kind of like a spy novel-y kind of thing. And it's about a trader. It was written before crypto. It's like an 11-year-old book. The Fear Index by Robert Harris. I enjoyed the hell out of it. It's about writing artificial intelligence bots, and spoiler alert, that's the villain. So anyway, I really enjoyed it. If somebody's looking for something to read or something to do that stop looking at the charts, I recommend the Fear Index.
All right, so I'm going to go to my Google Keep and add this to my book list, because that sounds interesting.
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I love books and movies about business and stuff. I was on YouTube, I think yesterday or Saturday, and just watching clips of The Big Short, which is a movie I love.
Yeah.
You know, about the crash of the real estate.
What they haven't made this one into a movie, because there's like all these scenes you can just picture. It's very movie-ish. Every time you show the Fear Index thing there, I think of it.
All right, Robert Harris, the author?
Yeah, I'm putting it in the chat.
Okay.
I think it was like about 10 years ago.
Might be able to find that in the library.
That's where I got it, actually.
Yes, hey, for an old book, definitely.
I got it on a Libby. I read it on my device.
Right.
So good luck.
Thank you. And that's on my
Little
list.
sidebar, now you can have the table back.
Well, I was wrapping up, iCoinPro anyway. So do you guys have any questions on what we've seen on iCoinPro and or Altcoin Alert? All right, well, I'll throw it open to anything you guys want to talk about, crypto related, even books. So.
Jump the gun. I'll ask a question to the group. Does anybody dealt with I guess it's an exchange called Wire, WYRE?
I've heard of it, but not used it.
They don't talk about it. I searched in the group, in the Facebook page, and nobody talks about it. I only asked because one of my kids finally got interested in crypto and he bought some through here. I'm like, well, what the hell is it? I don't know this place. So I looked at it briefly online, but I just thought I would ask if anybody here had any news about Wire.
I've used it on KuCoin one time to buy crypto there, and it's kind of like if you were going to go into like a wallet and buy crypto through the wallet. Basically it's an API payment app that they can add to any kind of app to transfer money from a bank to the exchange, and it's just another way to make get cash into crypto.
I think
It's
he had
just-
used it for something else, and then when he finally dawned on him he could buy crypto, he bought a tiny little bit. So, so it's more like a payment kind of an app.
Like
that's the
Cash
best.
App or something like that, or
Um,
or PayPal, or
it would be the app in between Cash App and the crypto exchange,
okay.
basically.
Okay.
Like, does that make any sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I know more than I did.
Yeah.
I'll keep looking into it and I'll try to steer him to like the safe exchanges and stuff. But I was just astonished. He like out of the blue said he'd bought some Ethereum on this thing. I'm like, okay.
He knows you're into crypto, and
Well,
yeah,
and
well,
I've tried not to like hit him over the head with it, but I've
Uh-huh.
talked about it. And so he finally like, I took it as a good moment.
sure,
He's going to live with it more than I am.
that's true.
So anyway, thank you for telling me what you knew.
Sure.
All right. Are there any coins you guys want to go over or anything like that?
Chills or Childis?
Chili's,
Yes.
I think it is.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Day chart. Big pump in March and in April, trending down since then. 70%. Not really coming back that well yet. I was trading this a week or two ago. Had some success with it, but I think I was shorting it. But again, these are starting to look the same. Big pump a couple days ago and drop since then. And the 5-minute chart is a day trade. Looking squeezy. Yeah, that's not even 2% between the top and the bottom of the Bollinger Band on the 5-minute chart. So I'm not liking that setup at all. Hanging around the SMA line, my least favorite place to buy. Again, like some of the others, I'd be looking for a dip sequence like this, or a push above the SMA line like this, preferably with a bubble, the Bollinger Bands. But yeah, I've
Does
traded
anybody know-
this. I like it.
Has that shown up on the top 5 in the last couple of days?
Top 5 on Altcoin Alert.
Yeah. I mean, it's not there right now, but has it been the last couple of days?
I don't know if this will tell us that or not.
Seems like I've seen it recently. I mean, it comes and goes. Hmm. 19th.
It looks like it only goes back,
Yeah.
Today. So
Yeah.
it's not giving us past information. Bummer.
I know. Yeah.
I agree with you though. I think I've seen it there. I could go through my notes and find out for sure. But that if I traded Chili's, it's probably because I saw it there.
Yeah.
Since I usually have at least 1 or 2 Altcoin Alert coins as my buddy coins, any given day.
Nice to have the overlap.
Yeah. All right. Frank's telling us most coins just turn green. My Luna trade is recovering. Unfortunately, the short I have in SNX is not, but that's all right. It is kind of funny if, trading leverage, sometimes I'll have a short and a long going at the same time, usually because, I bought one 2 or 3 hours ago that hasn't resolved yet. So now they're both identical, kind of passing each other, maybe waving as they go the other direction. But all right. Any other coins you guys want to look at?
Yeah, CJ, can we look at VeChain or VET?
Sure.
I got in it yesterday, and when it follows Bitcoin pretty closely. Bitcoin's in a squeeze right now. It looks like it's going to dive. And I want to know if I should get out of this. I got in at 0.68 and it dove. And I want
Well, we're in the squeezy.
before it dives back down again, I'm looking for, should I get out of this? Or is there any signs of that it's going to go back up?
Got some nice candle action from about an hour, about half an hour ago. We got a little pump here. 2.5%. That's not bad. We've got 2 red candles since. Looking at the bigger picture on the hour chart, it's in a dip sequence, but there's a nice candle here on the hour. Just depends how long you want to hold it.
I want to hold it till it at least breaks even again.
Yeah. Okay. So obviously not a long-term play. So I mean, I like this. I like VET. I trade it from time to time. So nothing is really
I combined in that question was, I think it's the hour chart or the day chart on Bitcoin. It's in a serious squeeze, and there's so many of these coins that follow it. Does this squeeze look like it's going to dump, or does it look like it could pump?
Yeah, that's the question.
Yeah, I don't think VET's going to take off without it.
I agree.
You're right about that.
Looks like it
Yeah.
did. This is the hour. Did punch through earlier at 31,000. Now it's dropped a couple $100. It seems to have some resistance today anyway at 31,000. So, we could look at the VET or let's look at the VET hourly and see. Yeah, it's got some resistance here at 63.50, 63.60. So, and you're in at 63.80. Is that what you said, Chris?
6680 60
660.
0668 0668.
0668. All right. So you need to go. You know, 6.84%. I mean, it was up there earlier today, obviously. But yeah, it does look like this was resistance. So maybe you got pulled in when it pumped here, or this one here.
There's a 1400, 1445, I think is when it was.
Okay.
Oh, yesterday, not today.
Oh, yesterday. Okay. Yeah, so that was like right around here.
Yeah, that bottom of that red one.
Yeah.
I wasn't looking at the hourly low. I was looking at the
Yeah.
5-minute chart, and that's
sure
what got me. And then I looked back at the hourly, and I said, "Oh shit, I probably shouldn't have done that."
Well, let's look at this. All right, 1445. All right, so you get, so you're looking at this up here. We're above the SMA line. It does. Yeah, and what did you like about this? Just that you saw a couple chubby
No, it
green
was,
candles?
and maybe it was 1420. I know it was on the bottom of a.
Was it
I don't
bottom of
know.
the
Maybe
Bollinger Band?
it was bottom of the red. It had just gone up and it came back down, and I thought it was going to do like a sine wave, and it didn't.
Yeah. Not sure what to tell you at this point. Yeah, it'd be about a 6 to 7% loss. If you don't have too much money in it, then
that-
You might,
I
I don't
sure
know
I
if
was
you'd
going
let,
with is the squeeze. And is it too dangerous to hold anything up? Looks like it's going to dive.
I don't know. It does seem to be trending down at the moment on the 5-minute. And
Yeah, I don't like
so
it. So I don't like it at all.
I would probably be interested in ladder buying this at some point, but you may
It's
be
not
in
a
it.
bad idea.
You may be in it for a few days.
Yep.
And then if there's a big Bitcoin dump down to, down into the 20s, this is gonna dump again too. So that's something
That's
you need
where
to.
I'm worried.
And I talked about Bitcoin earlier, and I just don't know what it's going to do. So, yeah, and Dave has mentioned in the chat that's probably relevant to Bitcoin. I did talk about the Grayscale dump. He's got a message in here about the GBTC price drop, and that's a fund that's has Bitcoin in it, and many people bought back in March or April when it was around 36. Well, no, it was before that, when it was around 36,000. So Dave's asking how that kind of information would influence my trading strategy. It makes me, as a day trader on at least my leverage approach, it makes me more interested in shorting than being long. On spot trading, where I can really only go long, I'm going to be extra cautious and wait for the perfect setups, like I talked about earlier, where Justin Clark of iCoinPro talks about being a trade snob, and that's where you're looking for the perfect dip sequences and the big bubbles, and tempering expectations, and to the point where 1% to 2% is pretty good. So 6 months ago, I wouldn't even look at anything less than 5%. So that's it's a whole new world. We're either in a bear market or the bearish correction of a bull market. It's just words to me. It's just I don't know why, but most things seem bearish lately. So not sure if that answers your question, Dave, but thank you for posting this. I don't know a lot of the details about the GBTC situation. I just know it's a fund that has Bitcoin in it that's dumping it, and that could affect the price of Bitcoin. So, all right, guys, any other questions or issues to discuss?
What kind of strategy do you implement on taking profits off the table on a daily basis? So you make your successful trades at 1 or 2, 3%. Do you just keep your profit there, or you just kind of like take half of it off and then things like this?
That's a good question. A lot of traders will take their profits in increments. I rarely do that, if ever, just because it kind of funks up my accounting. So I'm kind of a lazy accountant, I suppose. But on a longer term trade, I think it's a really good idea to, especially if you're up 20 or 30% in a position and you can pull out your principal, and then just play on house money for the rest of your trade. I think that's really cool. But I'm not sure if that's real practical with a 1 to 3% day trade approach. So yeah, I almost always sell the whole position. And then regarding exit points, I talk frequently about resistance, buy at support, sell at resistance. It's simplistic, but it's really helpful. For example, on this VET chart, I want to buy down here where the support is, and then sell in this area. I'll draw a line here. Buy here, and then sell up here. Something like that.
and this way you're actually paying back the money you borrowed from the margin account, and then you're starting over again.
On a short position, yes. On a long
Okay.
position, I'm buying to begin with, but yeah. So this kind of trade would be really cool. And I've been pushing, trying to get 3% on some of my trades because I've been setting 3% stop losses, and that's new for me. Sort of overhauling my tradings and starting to do leverage. But on spot trading, which is mostly what I talk about, on Mondays and Fridays, I'm just looking for a couple percent, and I do the support and resistance like I just talked about. You can also use some of these indicators as exit points, and a lot of traders do. The SMA line, you could buy, if you buy down here at the bottom of the Bollinger Band and go to the SMA line. It's a little cluttered here, but it's 1.11% in 10-15 minutes. That's a good day trade. So does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
All right, cool. All right. But yeah, get to learn your supports and resistances. And there's a lot of excellent charting if you're in the CryptNation group, on that Slack group on various coins. Alan and Terry post a lot of charts on the coins that interest them. So that's a good resource for us. Well, if there's nothing else, I will let you folks go. We're like right at an hour. And
CJ, could you just give us a couple of minutes of your take on divergence? I really struggle with trying to get my head around that.
Sure, I'll do that. I'm not a real expert on that, so I'm going to end the recording here, and then we'll sort of, spitball it after that. So those of you watching on the recording, thank you so much. Hopefully I'll see most of you on